Sometimes when I wake up and I look at him, I shed tears. Why do I shed tears? When I look at him and I shed tears, in me there is a prayer for God to add me more years so that I can see him prosper. And whenever I think about sicknesses and other challenges that can hinder me from supporting him, I shed tears. And when sometimes I wake up and I look at him, I smile. Why do I smile? I smile because I also have a flesh of my own who looks like me. Though through discrimination I've raised him, but I feel happy because he's happy and I really know he's happy. And that brings a smile to my face as a parent or as a mother. I'm a born of two parents who are black. It was really challenging that I was the firstborn, and when they gave birth to me, I don't know what came to their mind. I don't know how they thought about me, but Dad loved me. But I had a challenge with my mom. Growing up was not a bed of roses. It was not so easy for me. When I go to school, yes, I get some little exposure at school. But when I come back home, I'm locked in the room so that I stay there. The reason was my mom never wanted people to know that she had a child with albinism. When I grew up, I left primary, I came to secondary. I reached the senior 1, still in the same challenges. Senior 2, first term was fair, second term was fair. Third term of senior 2, I was forced to go and get married because of lack of school fees. He started paying for me school fees, but in return, he abused me sexually. At 16 years, I conceived. So, his parents were not ready to take care of this baby. My parents were not also ready to take care of the baby. Yet I wanted to go to school because it was like a chance to me. Time came when I thought of it all. I had to go and throw the baby in the baby's home. I completed my certificate of the teaching course. So I had to go and pick my baby. And remember, I had now lost the other relationship, the father of the baby. And I felt like any other person, I needed somebody, I needed a spouse to be with. So when I changed the district to come this way, yes, I got a school, I started teaching. Then I also got somebody who seemed to be interested in me. We stayed in courtship for 1.5 years. Who seemed to be very loving. Yeah. That time when I got him, at least I got a smile on my face. We stayed for some 1-2 years. Again, I conceived. I got promises pregnancy. And getting this pregnancy, this husband of mine was forced to take me to his family. When he took me to his family, they never welcomed me. They looked at me as a ghost, and they asked their son, why among all women, this man had left very many beautiful women and girls, but came for a ghost. And we can't welcome a ghost because we told you you married a ghost. Now the ghost has given birth to another ghost. We don't want this. So they told him to marry another wife. So marrying this wife, again, the sorrow I had passed through in the past came back because I felt the wounds I already had in my heart are already pierced again. Yet where I was staying, I was renting. I was pushed out of the house. So I started staying under a tree. So also at my place of work, because I was pregnant and sickly, they also sent me away from school. So I had no work. So I started staying under a tree, and with my pregnancy, I slept under a tree for 6 months. I had no food to eat. I became a beggar, yet I had gone to school. So when I went home, my family members also chased me away from home. They told me I go away with the pregnancy. So still I had to come back on the street. Then one day, still under a tree where I used to sleep after 6 months now, the pregnancy has now grown. I'm about to produce. And I have nowhere to run to. So one good Samaritan came. So this person gave me a house, paid for me rent for some time. I stayed there with my baby. So when time came, I had to look for another school. They welcomed me to that school with my baby. I started teaching. So their life at least became a little better. When we began EFPA, we were 5 people, 4 people with albinism, and 1 person who was visually impaired. But this person had more knowledge about how to form an organization. So we put in our own money. We hired the motorcycles to go in different villages looking for these people with albinism. So for me to be the executive director, first of all, I had gone to school. So they saw that I had qualifications. So it was not just by coincidence that I became an executive director. Yeah, they looked at my qualifications. An advert was put out. I also applied, and I did interviews, and I went through. So when Beyond Sun Care came, we have Sironko district, which has come up with a more reasonable activity of saving. Why? Because they have come together, they have shared experiences, they have seen that, coming together as a family and doing something is good. And that is the power of Beyond Sun Care. When Beyond Sun Care came, we have a session of health education. We educate people how to take care of themselves, apply the sunscreen, and how to protect themselves from the sun. So these people have taken it into consideration, and with using our cream of the sunscreen, the skins are now looking really perfectly well. So Beyond Sun Care has, in one way or the other, increased our capacity in most areas. Very many mothers or parents of children with albinism are ignoring their children. And a very good example is myself. So the legacy I want to leave behind is to see to it that the young children with albinism will receive quality education. Because without education, a child cannot be anywhere. What I hope for Promise is what I hope for Promise is really very big. I want him to study as far as he can. And this is very important to me, to be very kind to others.